are back with more COD Rec League action. It is the Toronto Falters and Minnesota Floppr in the Silver Premade North Division. My name is Rob Mart, third alongside Tej, and we are kicking it off with some Skid Row hardpoint.
Yeah, haven't seen that tonight, but gotta say this is one of my more favorite hardpoint maps. So looking forward to this one. It is Minnesota collecting this opening time at the moment. Should be a good one here. Again, in the Silver Premade North Division.
Should be a good matchup indeed. Skid Row, another kind of more or less clinical type of map, but there are absolutely some money hills looking at P2 and P5 specifically that you can hold down. But speaking of money hills, Minnesota are making P1 their money hill to kick this one off, but Toronto Falters have top on, and they should be able to get most of the scrap time. And over to P2 we go, and that one's going to be an interesting battle, but it looks like Minnesota are going to be on top.
Minnesota kind of might have messed us up though. I mean, you have the one player over here on point, but he has to stay alive because all of his players pushed up and now they're spawning out. And I think Toronto might know this, so they can try to push this pace to the point. They are playing this slow though, but there's just no reinforcements for this player on point and right on. Has to stay alive for as long as he can, and now the reinforcements come at the perfect timing. So a misstep really from both teams there. But in the end, it is going to be Minnesota coming out on top of that.
Yeah, they're going to hold it close and tight for right now. They're going to get the most of this. It is basically not worth Toronto trying to make this push now. So they should be looking over towards that next hill. And it looks like they're going to start to do so. But honestly, maybe not. It looks like they are going to have that side cleared out. But a couple of kills actually don't end up breaking off Minnesota enough to lose a lot of that time. So now over to P3 we go. Toronto should be set up here for the time being. But now Minnesota going to be coming in on the backside. They aren't aware of him. Is that right? Chex is going to check those stairs and is going to make sure McLovin is gone from them. Sandwich is going to find a kill as well. Pinstripe kill feed as it's going to be Chex, who's going to be last one up here for Minnesota. So Toronto are actually going to be the first ones to get this time.
And they will try to collect themselves back into this one, but the reinforcements now coming in for Minnesota. Toronto doing a good job of fending them off though. And now a pinch coming in here as Ant is going to find two, and he's going to be on the 5 spree here for Toronto, make it the 6. So trying to continue to lock this down, doing a good job of Toronto of getting themselves back into this one. And just chaos on this map right now, but Toronto coming out on top.
Yeah, Toronto got a good amount of time there. Minnesota will get this scrap here as we head over to P4, and Zab baby gonna find 2 in the tunnel and is gonna keep that point clear for them to maintain this initial time. Sandwich gonna try to make a play here on the last moment, not gonna be able to do so. So it is going to be Toronto that are gonna hold this one down. They will get this initial time. Minnesota gonna try to make their first attempt at this one over towards that mid tunnel side. Not gonna check his left though, as Ant is gonna find that kill, make it 2. Toronto taking control of that kill feed, and Ant is on a 10 kill streak right now. Can't be stopped.
I think it's a third 10 streak we've seen tonight on stream. Kind of crazy, but he's going to continue to make this happen for his team. Looking for more finally to get traded out. And this is the opening here for Minnesota as they try to get in. It looks like for the moment it is OBJ in the back. OBG, excuse me, in the back trying to hold this one down, but McLovin with that trade, and Minnesota will look to collect the rest of this time. Toronto, though, still getting those spawns in the back, so they're actually going to get the rest of this time. Now the foot race over. This is a perfect situation right now for Toronto, as now you're having some Minnesota players spawn on that app side, so kind of spawning out for next. Problem is, Chex, excuse me, it's going to have to be OBG, going to have to stay alive over here. I don't think he sees Chex as well, so Chex is kind of the player to make the play.
Yeah, he's going to try to do so. He's going to fire a couple of first shots here. We'll find one. That's OBG going down. So now the lead has changed in Toronto's favor right now as they continue to hold the line. Chex, though, is just basically not able to do much. As he sits on top of the crate, he's getting needed from all sides. Not able to find the pieces that now has some reinforcements from Rydon. Rydon's going to find one, and now the hop in from Minnesota will allow them to get some of this time here. 30 seconds left onto this hill. And that spawn out is probably going to end. That spawn for McLovin is actually insane. He's spawned right in the middle, so now has an opportunity here to head back towards P1 immediately. But that cruise missile coming down at an interesting moment here as Ant wants to clear out that point and grab the scrap time.
It looks like, I mean, both teams really still fighting for the scrap time there for the first 5 hills. We are essentially where we started. Pretty close game here. Minnesota will have a slight lead. It looks like going into that P1 as Ant's actually going to find the kills. So take 5 points to show off the board there for Minnesota. But back to P1. Toronto on it first and trying to really finish this from both sides here is Minnesota, but doing a good job right now, Toronto, of shutting that down at 19-5 on another 4th streak. He is a difference maker for this Toronto team.
God, he absolutely is. He is still just wheeling and dealing right now. The rest of his squad picking up as much hell time as they possibly can. And that includes OBG, who hits 6 seconds of the hell time. But now Dino is going to be a problem. Going to find 2. Now is on the hunt for a 3rd. Has some help. So now they will continue to hold the line. Minnesota are struggling to find a way in right now, so they might just cut their losses and go next. But look who is already there. Zab Baby is going to be there. I mean, this rotation is so late. I mean, Ant is on another kill streak, by the way. I don't know if you saw that there for a second, but Zab Baby is going to try to find McLovin first. Will do so. So this is going to be trouble here for Minnesota. I mean, this hill is so hard to break. It's very possible Toronto hit 200 and then some here on this P2.
And the problem for Minnesota right now is they're so spread out that they're in a situation where they're just gonna have to funnel in through tunnel. You'd imagine we have player number 7, McLovin, trying to pinch through the back, and he actually finds 2. That is huge, huge 2 kills there for the side of Minnesota. It's gonna allow them to potentially get back in. Ant once again finding some kills, but that is a huge swing right there from McLovin. 2 kills go their way. It wipes out Toronto, just able to sit on that time. Basically uncontested, and now Minnesota actually gets in right now. So again, I cannot stress enough how big of the 2 kills that was.
Yeah, I mean, the big is going to put Minnesota back in good contention, but Dino is going to find the couple of kills to get the rest of this scrap time. So Toronto haven't completely run away with this one yet, and Minnesota is winning the foot race over towards next, but Ant is going to at least cut their legs off a little bit, as Ant is going to find 2. Sandwich and Ryan both go down, and it's going to be up to, I believe it's Checks, and it's going to be McLovin trying to defend the hill. But I mean, now the flank comes in from Zab Baby, and Checks just says, I don't care about your flank. I'm just going to put a few bullets into your head and make sure you don't come on in. But OBG is there finally for the cleanup. So Toronto once again winning another rotation battle here onto P3. This should put them at least close to the 200 mark. But McLovin has something to say about it first. He's going to try to find 1, find 2. Can't find him. And now Checks is going to hop in here for Minnesota. And now that hill just remains white for the time being.
And it is going to be Minnesota right now with that upside spawn. Dino from the back trying to make a play. Great read there from McLovin. So this is a chance right now for Minnesota to chain these 2 hills together. Ant, once again, he is triple positive right now, trying to make these plays to get these players on a point. And what's happening is he finds that last kill. That's huge because he already has 2 teammates rotating the next. So if he can play for the scrap time over at that P3, this is huge for them, and that's exactly what's going to happen. Now Minnesota has to re-break into this P4. Not going to happen. This is Toronto's chance to put this one away.
Yeah, they're going to look to do it right here, right now. They're going to hop on the inside. They're going to hit that 200 mark. Finally, it's been elusive so far, but Minnesota only 40 points down, but they are losing their grasp quickly. They're going to look to try to break in here quickly if they want to try to keep this at least close. Toronto, though, is lighting up that kill feed right now, but now Ryan and McLovin both go huge, but now it's going to be Ant who cleans up the rest. Another 5 spree, tries to find 2 more, only finds 1 for his trouble. Checks, though, immediately going to hop in. This is going to be a great play to at least slow the time down to allow Minnesota to spawn right back into it, but they just can't get in there in time. Toronto is still just eating this one up. They are now 70 points above, and they are looking to close this one out. Can't quite win on this hill, but they can easily win on next.
And they have the rotation already. At least they have 1 player over there. Now it's going to be Dino with the task of trying to find these 2 kills. Might get some unfortunate timing here, but finds 1 kill anyway. And this should really be it, you would imagine, here for Toronto. It's Minnesota has to find something here quickly, but time is running out. It is not on their side. Only 10 seconds away now, and they're just going to have to funnel through this ticket side, and it is not going to be easy. Right on trying to get in, does find 1. Can he find the second? He does. Got to stay alive though. Ant with the kill streak coming in. Ooh. It is chaos here on P5, but again, only a couple seconds away here for Toronto. Minnesota though get on the hill momentarily.
Yeah, they're going to hold on tight, and they got to play perfect COD at this point. They got to bring this one all the way back. 80 points down. 2 points left for Toronto to grasp. Kills are starting to go down, but Check is going to hold the line. He's going to find that 4th there onto Ant. Big kill, big play. They're out of checks. And now the scrap time will go their way. So now a race to P1, and Ryden might win it. He's going to find one, but 2 more players left to kill. McLovin, though, with the team kill. What a horrific set of timing there. So now Toronto have opportunity to put their trophies down. They're going to set up. Minnesota have to book it to get on the inside. McLovin's going to find that play onto the balcony, and Ryden didn't get one on the inside. Ryden goes huge, finds a second as well. McLovin gets hit in the back, but Minnesota, for the time being, have control.
They have the setup here as well. You got to keep these players out, though. Only 2 seconds left for the win, and they're going to try to contest this. Delicate situation here for Minnesota. The kill is starting to go the other way. You got to stay alive here if you're Ryden. He's taken down, and that should do it. It will. Toronto Falters hang on in the end. It got a little sketchy there in the end, but they do hold on.
Oh my God, that was a pretty insane set of hills. Back here with Silver Premade North the action. We have the Minnesota Floppr and the Toronto Falters. We have a 1-0 series going into Karachi. Search and Destroy in Minnesota are going to be on the attack first here.
And you will see that there is a name missing. I will say drug test was failed, and now we have Jupiter subbed in this match. We will leave it at that, and we will see how this one goes. Yeah, but Minnesota here on the offensive side, and look at the map spread from them. Just all out, trying to get this first pick.
Yeah, I mean, so far, nice and slow, but the SMG ends up finding the first pick. You've been wrong about every single map that was going to have a submachine gun in it. We've seen basically all of that. Long range kill, and now it's going to be up to Stanwich. And a 1v3. I love that name, by the way, Stanwich. What a great name. So that's that. If you're going to choose a gamer tag, if you don't choose Stanwich, I really question what you're doing, especially if your name is actually like Stan or Stanley or something to that effect. But regardless, 20 seconds left on the clock here, Teach.
Funny, because he is in a sandwich right now, and he gets taken out just around that diner. Could not find anywhere to get out, and sandwich between those two players.
Matt, I want a different caster with me right now.
I feel like every cast we have, it goes off the rails at some point, and I'm just trying to start that, you know?
Yeah, no, I got you. I mean, we might as well get it going here. I mean, it's the first week. We gotta make sure these jokes land, man. I mean, we're gonna be using them all year, so might as well see how it works now. And speaking of working now, let's see what Toronto decide to work with here on the attacking side. Looks like it's gonna be the B position that's gonna be their target here, but Dino is getting pretty frisky with the line in Minnesota here. He's gonna be up against them and gonna hang on tight and wait to see if he can get a pick.
Yeah, the stack over on this B street here for both teams. Minnesota does end up with that first kill, so this will make their job a little bit easier in trying to get around on the board, but as I say that, it is going to be OBG with the kill on the ride-in, so evening up those numbers, and now Jupiter going to find the kill on Stanwood. McLovin, though, will find that flanker in Dino, and that's a big kill right there. That could have caused some chaos, but now a 2v2 situation.
50-yard line basically keeps these guys apart, but that's a quick pick there. OBG going to find McLovin. So it's going to be all up to checks. Has OBG and Dino to deal with. A is going to be the site. Oh, no, the timing. That's just terrible. He's going to go on over to B. Assumes that they're not going to be at A, but, man, he's going to be here for a rude awakening here momentarily. And I think he's starting to realize. Bomb check complete. Bomb plant complete over on the A side. His checks. Just going to hang up top, see if he can find anybody. But Jupiter and OBG playing this right, finding the cover, watching the crosses.
Gotta find this first pick. He had the angle. He does see the feet of Jupiter, but Jupiter sees the feet of him as well. And Toronto Falters gonna continue on up 2-0 here in the search and destroy after a strong map 1 respawn. Looking good right now. Playing the numbers correctly, and as you said, that round just a little bit of a timing issue there for the side of Minnesota. Ends up costing them.
Good start here from Toronto. As it look back, then bring the series to even after a hard fought but loss. Hard point on Skid Row. So now attacking side here for Minnesota. Target, but look at this flank coming in from Dino. He's gonna find one. He's gonna try to find two. We can't quite find that last bullet. Right in. We'll clean up the mess, but that's the one. He has 0 HP. That said 0, by the way. That said 0. So he had to have been at like a decimal of health points. I've never seen that before.
I mean, that is crazy. So Dino goes down there, but gets the information for his team, and We'll see what they can do with this information, because it kind of puts Minnesota in somewhat of a bind here. You're kind of boxed in on this A side after that information is granted right in. Gonna chuck out a nade and see if he can find it. OBG gonna shoot some feet for the time being. That player is down, and bomb is down as well in mid-map. MWIII last alive. This is not going well for Minnesota.
No, not going well at all. MWIII gonna try to do the impossible, but OBG just immediately gonna be there for the chow. And I mean, this is just through and through Toronto's map right now. They are up 3-0. It's crazy what happens when you take out the player that took steroids before the match. I mean, goodness.
Well, look, I think, again, that play from Dino right there, that's crazy, bro. I think that play from Dino right there is just absolutely pivotal for that round one for them. Again, he gets, you know, one kill and gets traded out, but the information that's granted, and you're almost boxed in on that A side. There's just not many places you can go or feel comfortable going, because it feels like you're just going to get taken out on the cross. It's going to be checked here with the information for Minnesota of where these players are going here for Toronto. We'll see what the play is here for Toronto, because now they kind of find themselves in a position where they have to play for this first pick to be able to move up the map.
Yeah, they want to try to get to this B site. It is pretty well defended, though. They've got to find checks, and Jupiter does find them. Okay, so they know where it's going to be, and that might be enough to push them back to make the play up towards that bomb site. Let's see what they decide to do here. OBG looks for Ryden. McLovin gets taken down, so now things are opened up a little bit. Ryden goes down as well. Now B site is almost completely open, and Zab Baby with such a great flank is going to find checks as well. So now down to Stanwich. A familiar situation where it's a 1v3 here for Minnesota. This bomb should go down on B here for free. That baby up top actually going to get taken out there. So now have to find Dino and OBG. 35 on the bomb. Sandwich going to take a full-on route here, but Dino should be ready for it, in a great position to check over on that backside. Bomb site is completely protected right now. They are not worried about this back street at all. So Sandwich, 22 on the clock, has to get the timing onto Dino. Gets stuck on a tire that is on the stairs. Toronto's agree up 4-0.
Yeah, Toronto, even with the sub in, looking very, very good here, up 4-0 in this one, excuse me, and continuing to roll. I mean, I think they've gotten the first blood every round, and if not, I mean, they've had the numbers advantage in every round, and just making it look easy right now. Minnesota have to find some inspiration here, have to be able to at least start with the first pick here, get that, and then from there, see what you can do. But they're just putting themselves in tough situations time and time again. We'll see what the play is here. It looks like they are playing it slow, maybe playing for that pick, and it's not going to happen. Dino with a kill on the stand, which first blood again gives the way of Toronto.
Good pick here for Toronto once again. I mean, they are just running everything on the search right now. Checks, though, finally does have an answer, so we'll even things up at 3. 55 on the clock. Bomb still has to be grabbed. Looks like Ryden will be the receiver. Dino gonna play this smart, though. They play this nice and slow, but the chow from Ryden with the Renetti will be the end of his life. 3v2 situation here for Minnesota. Finally have the upper hand, and they're gonna start to move over towards A, but OBG in a great position here. Might be able to find at least one player, but no. They don't go to the window, so now Ryden is going to be able to plant this bomb, and I guess you can't see through that window, but this grenade should do, but not with a trophy nearby. Ryden gets out with his life with the bomb down. So now OBG forced to rotate over. Oh, doesn't see check gun, and now Jupiter's going to get caught in the back. No, he's not. He's going to win that. Going to beam the head off of McLovin on that backside. No fake IDs on this part of town. 28 seconds on the clock. Now a push just has to happen here, and it has to happen right now. Ryden doesn't get some good timing, or maybe not. Oh my god, OBG, you can't lose that. And now Jupiter evens it out, but has to find this final kill, and he does find it. Jupiter makes a big play at the end, and will get the defuse. And now we are in full sail territory as it is 5-0 Toronto.
Yeah, that's a round you just feel like you can't lose there for Minnesota, and it ends up happening. They're able to get that bomb down, but McLovin loses a big gunfight in the back, and that allows Jupiter to get another 2 after that. Big round from him. He goes to 7-1, but man, McLovin, wants that gunfight back for sure. That was one that he really should have won and opened the door for Toronto. Now 5-0. Toronto will look to close this one out on the offensive side, and look at the setup here from Minnesota. They are committing to that A side, B is completely wide open.
Yeah, it is. Man, Zav Baby is about to be in for a lot right now. He has basically everybody below him for the opposite side of Minnesota right now. And the B is open, but Toronto is just not picking up on this quite yet. And it looks like this is going to go back and help. Oh, it's going to be a bloodbath inside the building. Dino's going to find that first kill on the sandwich, and now bullets are flying everywhere. McLovin going to try to find Dino, but Dino is going to go out for the chase and find that kill. So now B site completely open, and OBG knows it now because he's going to hop on this B site and get it down. 2v4 situation here for Minnesota. Checks are riding up.
Right, and right on shoots and does not get any shots off, but now position is known, and this is going to be another impossible situation, you feel, for Minnesota. Checks does find the first kill on the Jupiter, but gets traded out quickly. Right on, left in a 1v3, and he's going to find one for his trouble. I mean, could potentially make it happen, but he's not going to get spotted. Gets taken down. Toronto makes easy work of it. 6-0 in the search and destroy. It was really never close in this one. I mean,
action, and we are back on Karachi once again. First in control this time. Minnesota Floppr and Toronto Falters. Minnesota have some work to do here at that.
They do, and as we talked about, I think they need a spark of some sort to get themselves back in this mentally, because it is not going well the last map and a half for them. Starting off here is Toronto on the defensive side, and I think for Minnesota, you probably want this. Maybe get on the offensive side, get some momentum going your way. We'll see how this happens. Is they're actually going to kind of split pushes here. Some players going over to B and getting the kills on A as well. So nice start here from Minnesota.
Nice start indeed. This is exactly what they were looking to get as they hop in and are trying to perform the reverse sweep here tonight. The first one potentially of the year. Jupiter, though, is going to try to prevent that from happening. A nice quick, easy kill onto Rydon. So 2-6 here for Minnesota onto that A point, and now B seems to be the focus here. Checks is going to be first one on, is going to possibly catch another surprise, but maybe the read is there. Dino going to find two. That's a good grab there for Toronto, who are keeping Minnesota out. And I mean, Ty, from what we've experienced so far on this map, I mean, if A gets lost, not necessarily the worst thing in the world, especially if Toronto decide to let that go here momentarily.
Yeah, I think maybe that's Minnesota's line of thinking there. They get 2 ticks on A, and they actually try to make a play over toward D. Nothing happening though, but now you're in a situation where you're actually spawning continuously, kind of on that B side, which, if they can get the breakthrough, might help out for them. As Jupiter gonna try to find one in the back, but they actually broke through here, and now it's gonna be Minnesota on this B zone. They have some positioning here to make this happen.
Position is there, gonna hop on. They're gonna get that first pick. 20 seconds left on the clock. Here's Zav Baby, gonna make sure he beams them out of commission, and he does. He finds 3, and now Minnesota are in some trouble. They can't even get A right now. So now one final sprint over towards A, but they are stacked up. This is such a good split coming in from Toronto. They have the map completely covered, but those are 2 big kills. Now Jupiter has to defend A by himself. Can he get it? McLovin gets the jump, and now the stack is in. Minnesota are gonna hop on, but can Toronto collapse? That Baby is going to find the kill. 3 seconds on the clock. This is it, the final push, and they're not going to get it. They are not going to get it. So Toronto are going to take that first round. I mean, I will say, they did get that first tick over onto the B site, so they did end up getting 3 ticks, which is basically capturing A on most natural A-like types of rounds.
Yeah, I don't hate the round from Minnesota. I think they try to make an aggressive play, and it just doesn't work out in the end. But, you know, it's not all bad. You do get 3 ticks, like you said, and, you know, for the side of Minnesota, you have to lock it down here on the defensive side. This is just some, you know, I feel like you have to win this round. You cannot go down 2-0 in this control. Not sure exactly what's happening here. We'll see. There we go. We're just getting the starting screen here, but well, yeah,
that's,
I mean, a new one.
Yeah,
that's a new one. But yeah, for the side of Minnesota, cannot lose this round. I think you have to win this one and keep yourself in it.
Yeah, gotta win this one, and you gotta win this one decisively. But Toronto, such an aggressive, forward-thinking team, and they are going forward onto B right away. They are just going for broke here. Man, Checks, I do not want to be you right now. You're gonna get taken out. Look at it, they are just sprinting. They don't care. Sandwich fires a few bullets, but it doesn't matter. Jupiter turns and burns, and now the stack on B is in, and this is panic time here for Minnesota. Ryden gonna try to take on a couple of the players from above, but they just can't do it. I mean, this B point is going down, and Jupiter in such a cruddy spot. I mean, B's gone, Ty. B has to be gone.
Yeah, it is quickly, and now you're saying player number 6 6 and Dino. I mean, he's going to hop right on over to A as well as this is going down. So this could be a quick round, especially if the kills continue to go Toronto's way. This is not the round you wanted if you're Minnesota. And Toronto at this point just pouring it on. Going to hop on A. That first tick already gone.
Yeah, first tick gone, second on the way. OPG gets hit in the back, though, but Jupiter makes a big kill. Can't find a second, though. Maybe he does. He does find one of the checks. So now that second tick is theirs. Ryden going to try to prevent Minnesota, or Toronto, I'm sorry, from coming in off spawn. But now it's up to the rest of his teammates to collapse on in and prevent this map. They are taking way too long. Here comes the reinforcements here for Toronto. Jupiter doesn't need them, though. He's going to find the kill, and he might find this third tick as well. They're taking way too long to get over here, and now the stack is in, and the round is over. And okay, Toronto wants to go home tonight.
Yeah, I think, I mean, look, on this map, if you give up B that early, you're going to be in a lot of trouble, and Minnesota just cannot find any footing right now. It's Sav Baby just diving on into that point. But they just captured that B point off their first break, and from there, it is just too easy to get that A zone. If you continue to die as much as Minnesota have, they can just not get a foothold or any control at all on this match. Jupiter 14-5 doing just fine himself, and we're gonna have another delay just to think over how we want to start this round. Yeah, exactly. I don't think I've ever seen this before, but Minnesota with the ultimate reverse sweep possibility coming up.
Well, we get our countdown, and so we have a +3 tick advantage here for Toronto, but Tyler, I'm going to be dead honest with you. I do not think that matters. I really just don't think that matters. But Minnesota going to try to copy the strategy of B, but look who's ready for it. The Architects. Zab Baby is going to find 2 right away and put that to a quick end. And this is one of those moments where you know Minnesota's like, now what?
Yeah. I mean, they just, again, I've really not been able to find anything at this point as Zab Baby trying to make a play here on this B side. And you're just seeing the spread right now for Minnesota. It feels like they just don't have a direction at the moment. Now, pushing it over to the B. So, okay, you finally get those kills. Maybe get this 3-stack over to this B side. You got to stay alive on point. Cannot die cheaply as that baby already going to find 1 on the sandwich. Make it 2 on McLovin. It is just too easy for the side as OBG going to clean up that kill for Zab Baby and right on last alive. But it is just too easy right now, as I said, for the side of Toronto.
Yeah, they are just breaking on through, but Ryden is going to try to at least make things interesting. Sandwich finds a kill as well, so a stack is possible here, and Toronto are spawning out in a pretty vulnerable area right now. So now B going quickly. Yeah, this is going to be B side here for Minnesota, so they end up bringing this one back. The missile comes on in, but it's not going to really do all that much. It's going to find checks and maybe slow them down over towards this A push, but for the most part, doesn't really do a damn thing over towards B. So now over to A we go. And Toronto actually down in the lives advantage right now, barely, but they are still down. So now it's going to be A, and it's such a scrappy hill. I mean, Toronto got to make sure they have, I can't believe I'm saying roof control at this point if they want to try to defend this point.
Yeah, that is going to be big on this map in general, but definitely in control here for this A point. Right now, Toronto finding the kills, and Minnesota will have to regroup and find a way back in. And this is where it gets a little bit scary because, first of all, Jupiter's on that. That's very scary. Second of all, I mean, you can kind of get put in a spawn trap here, so you have to be careful of that. Find some kills and break your way out. Looks like they're going to try to do so to the bottom side of the map right on with that first kill. Now the kill's going their way. Maybe a chance to hop on A.
Chance indeed. They're going to try to find the first one, but Dino is right there. Make it 1, make it 2. And Check's going to be from above to answer back, but he is going to be the last one up for his team for the time being. 37 seconds on the clock, and Minnesota have to try to make a play here. Have an opportunity here, but man, look where Zab Baby is. I mean, this is going to be such an annoyance here for the rest of Minnesota. I mean, even if they do end up hopping onto this time, Zab Baby is just going to basically come in from above. So Sandwich is going to be the first one on. Zab Baby has the rifle out. His one of these weapon at his disposal right now. Looking over towards McLovin, 18 seconds. Minnesota has to make a push. They have to make a push now, but that baby is just going to completely smoke him. Going to take him down. Checks. Going to try to answer back, but he is just not going to be able to do it. There is only so much you can do against this Toronto team. 5 seconds on the clock. One more push, and they're going to try to do it through red, but it is just lost. Dino gonna go down. Stack is in. 1.6 seconds. This is it right here. But actually, a couple of quick kills means progress, and that progress might just be enough. Jupiter is gonna hop on in and try to get test, but the Stack continues on. OBG gonna try to make a final play. The contest comes on, and OBG goes huge. Dino goes huge, and they just barely save the clean sheet. 3-0 for Toronto Falters, both in the control and the series. This one was not close.
Yeah, I thought the first half of that hardpoint, they looked pretty good, Minnesota, but then the 6-0, 3-0 to end it. And Toronto just looked really good in this one. I mean...